You have been watching NDTV for all the news reports and analysis on the Telangana elections. These are my 10 big takeaways from the Telangana elections. The first one, the Congress was in a hurry to go to the governor and stake a claim to form the government even before it had elected its Congress legislature party leader because of very important reasons. Those reasons are that they have multiple claimants for the chief minister's post, and there could be a real risk of a few of them breaking away. There could be willing people coming in from the BRS as well. Unlikely parties and members could get together to stake a claim to form the government, and they wanted to preempt that. The second important takeaway for me is that KCR, who had hoped to become chief minister a third time round, it was really KCR defeating KCR. For this simple reason that he had not listened to his son's words. His son KTR Rao had advised him to change 30 to 35 candidates, bring in the fresh faces because there was a lot of anti-incumbency and there were a lot of complaints against these MLAs and their performance. KCR, the chief minister himself, had in fact warned about 30 of them, telling them that he is going to not give them the tickets if they do not buck up their act or change their act. But KCR persisted with them, and that's one reason why it appears that the anti-incumbency has ensured that many of his sitting MLAs and even 6 ministers have lost the election. What I must point out is that out of the 10 new faces who were given the tickets, 9 of them have won. Third reason, third takeaway. There is a clear urban-rural divide. For the BRS, out of the 39 seats that it has won, 17 have come from Hyderabad region. And that is showing that KTR Rao, who is in fact the minister from here, the municipal administration minister, he is campaigning extensively in the city areas and he has had his impact. His development that he promised, the dreams of a world-class city that he gave to Hyderabad, the kind of images that we see of a Gachibowli, financial district, high-tech city, the corporates that he brought into Hyderabad, all that has worked well for the people of Hyderabad who believe that he is the face of development, and that's why they have voted for him and for his party in big numbers, and 17 out of the 39 seats in fact came from this region. But the rural areas they lost out on. For the Congress, exactly the opposite applies because they have not got any seats at all in the Hyderabad region. They have always been strong in the south and they consolidated their position in the south, doing very well there. They also grew in the north of the Telangana, and now for the Congress going ahead into the Lok Sabha elections as well, they would look to strengthen themselves in the Hyderabad region by in fact possibly getting talent from elsewhere, MLAs already from elsewhere, and we know that there are leaders from other parties who are already in touch with the Congress. To elaborate on that, former leaders who were in the Telugu Desam and subsequently moved to the BRS party, even a couple of ministers, may be on this list of people who may be acquired. The Congress itself is looking for Muslim face, Yadav face, and other faces from the BC community to strengthen itself, especially in the Hyderabad region. The other big takeaway is that this has been a comeback of the Reddys. What we understand is that while Janasena party, Pawan Kalyan did not have any impact at all here, what I must say is that the Kamma community, which is also a politically significant community, along with the Reddy community, which is also politically significant, 6 to 8% of the population, have come together to vote in the Congress, and as many as 43 Reddy MLAs have been voted, and majority of them are in fact from the Congress party. So the Congress once again getting identified with the Reddy party, which is otherwise also politically very influential. Of course, all parties gave about 40 tickets each to the Reddy community, and that's what is reflected here. The MIM managed to hold on to a stronghold in the 7 seats, but it did face challenges, whether it is in Nampally from Feroz Khan or from the BJP in multiple areas, whether it's Bahadurpura, Karwa. There is also a challenge in Yakutpura. All those places they faced a challenge, and therefore they would perhaps have to now rethink on how they are going to strengthen themselves. For the BJP, the worry was that they're sitting MLAs from Dubak, Mr. Raghunandan, Itala Rajender from Huzurabad and Gajwel, lost sitting MPs, Dharmapuri Arvind, Soyam Bapu Rao, as well as Bandi Sanjay, also lost, and they have made their gains in Adilabad 4 and Nizamabad 3 seats, other than Gosha Mahal, which has always been with the BJP ever since the formation of Telangana. So they would be worried about why they are not making any inroads in the city area, in Hyderabad area, where they would have hoped that their popularity would rise, and they're also worried about the margins of victory of the BRS in these areas, and there is some analysis that is now going to happen on what should be done. The vote difference between the BRS and the Congress also is actually not very significant. What it does show is that if the BRS had worked a little harder, they would have probably been seeing a third term in office and KCR as Chief Minister again, because the Congress went up 10%, the BRS went down 10%, and their vote share difference is only about 2%, 37% and 39% respectively of the BRS and the Congress. The last and important point that I would like to make is that while there was a difference in the youth and the urban vote for KT Rao, what I do understand is that while the urban youth, perhaps of Hyderabad, who were looking at corporate jobs, were happy with KT Rao, but the youth which was looking for government jobs, the Telangana State Public Service Commission exams, they were certainly unhappy with the government, and their perception was that the BRS had not done enough to facilitate jobs for the youth, and that was a reason for anger and perhaps voting against the government by the BRS in several of the rural areas of Telangana. So lastly, what it does appear is that political morality and ideology are something that are kept in the back seat, forgotten when new political friendships are struck. And in this case, it appears that once again we will have realignments, because people will be going back. Perhaps it's some kind of a ghar wapsi for some people, going back to the Congress, and we would also see some other people being inducted from one party to the other in the run-up to the parliament elections. In Hyderabad, the camera person Nagaraju, Sudhir, NDTV.